My name's 𝗵𝘁𝘁𝗶𝗹𝘀, and this is not scripted, man. You guys are... I haven't done story time in about a minute. I tried to make this video yesterday, but then my microphone was all fucked up.
Oh,
brother, I'm actually still singing because I've been more used to playing like the horror games, and then I've been enjoying that too. But I still gotta like enjoy the grounds, you know, where I've started. You know, I didn't start off playing the games and stuff. So I'm gonna come back. And I actually got a really good story time, and it's kind of late because this happened about 6 months ago, and I don't mind retelling it. So this is actually about the time I had got fired on my graduation day. And it sounds crazy right now. I'm gonna make sure I tell you how it happened, right? So, where can I start? I'll start when there was only about 2 months left of school, and a lot was going on, man. If you've been a senior before, you know, for the last 2 months, shit, like the next like the last semester, shit is like rushed. Everything's processing so fucking slow, depending on like your school and how your administration is or how your counselor is. It's kind of all just depends. So within this time, I had this 𝗔𝗹𝗹 class, right? And I was trying to keep shit afloat because I didn't fully think about how hard the class was going to be, because I've already kind of done digital design before. Like, as you see on like my thumbnails, like I make that by myself on a fucking phone. So I've never done it on a computer. But I was like, fuck, I mean, I got my phone. Most of the time, I can just use my phone and upload that shit to the class assignment, right? Did not happen that way at all. I wish it did, but it didn't. For the last 2 months, it was very fucking difficult. And the hardest part kind of was like having to submit, because there was a new class policy where it was like teachers, if the assignment was missing or late, that they could not give you a full F. It had to be at 50% only. And that's how it was, nothing else. And it was cool for the moment, but it's like then you have a whole bunch of assignments that you still gotta run up on, and you still don't get full points for it, right? Because it was like it was gonna be under a C or like a D, depending on which one it was, missing or late. Like between this time, you know, that shit was difficult, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. I did not know I was gonna make it. I literally remember just having projects on projects, and to give you kind of like a feel of it, the whole class was basically based on giving out service in a certain amount of time, like don't keep the customer waiting type of thing. And I understand that. That's like any service of people, so it was nothing new. I mean, I can learn that shit at a fast food restaurant. You know, I don't think I need to go to a class for that. But it was digital design, so it was a little bit different. And it was the stuff they were teaching us that didn't really make sense, and not something I kind of already knew I wasn't going to do this, but it was something I thought I already had experience in. So the first few shit was like a deck of cards, or like, bro, I don't remember shit. The only thing I used was like website building, but I feel like I could have learned all that shit by myself. I didn't need like a teacher to teach me that. On like the last day of school, right, me and my girlfriend were just kind of sitting and just trying to process how we were gonna do this, you know. And this project was not that hard. I kind of had a little bit of fun, but not a lot. And I was one of those niggas, I've never looked at my grades, especially at this time. I never looked. All I did was like, if I passed, then it was just passing. You feel me? So, I said goodbye to the teacher, you know, and I'm not gonna lie, man, I hit a prayer and everything, because 𝗔𝗹𝗹 was the only class I needed to pass to be a full graduate. Like, no more stressing at all. And when the nigga left the class, bro, I almost thought I had to start telling people like I was finna die, like all types of shit, man, because I thought I was a failure after that. I really did not think I was gonna pass that class. So after, you know, the next day, man, I went to my school and it was like, hey, you're done. You're fully done, nigga. You've done it, right? So I didn't even think. I think I'm not the only person to have like these, not anxiety attacks, but like a weird earthquake in your stomach, almost. Like you shake a lot, but not out like in your physical body, but in like your
nerves.
Yeah, like it was my nerves because I didn't. It's different when it actually happens, because I was struggling a lot, like in that class and just in general. This is just a portion of what happened that year in that semester, right? So of course, nigga, I had to sit in this, right? They gave me enough time to sit. The fact that I was a graduate, my nigga, they gave, and it was still 2 months left. So I was, most of the time, I was just sitting in the classes on my phone. And isn't that just the beauty of being a senior? You ain't gotta do shit. I remember when I was junior, I used to just watch niggas like, damn, bro, y'all niggas so lucky, I ain't gotta do shit. And that process was like, I don't have to do shit either. I should have been getting paid to sit there, right? So it's funny that I mentioned that too. While these months were going down, or the month goes away, same shit, right?
Like the school year was ending.
Yeah, while the school year started to like just end for me, I wasn't missing that shit. I wasn't crying like some of these other pussy niggas. I was ready. I was ready to leave, bruh. But I had to still think about the plan. I had to still think about what I had to do next, right? Because for the most part, I had not thought about college that seriously at all. I was still very scared of like that whole process. So, niggas having conversations about it. I'm not talking about it at all. I'm talking about making a YouTube channel. And shit, I'm playing. I could never. But I'm just saying other stuff just to make myself feel good. Like if I could do this, right? The first thing I decided to do was just get a job. Easiest thing, first step of everything, right? If I'm not gonna go to college, at least might as well start going through to getting a job, right? I've had a job before. It's like nothing new, interview or anything, right? I've never been scared to tell a person about my skills and like other shit I have. I mean, I'm still a high school senior, so I mean, it's not much I have, but this job needed me, right? And it was really great because it was like right across my house, so all I had to do was walk there, nothing else, right? Well, I go ahead and start my first step, being an adult. I met this guy, this manager, and his name was Patrick. So thank God he doesn't work there anymore because of obvious reasons. I'm gonna tell you. So Patrick was the manager of the entire Dollar Tree, and if you live in very impoverished areas, some stores don't look organized, and it happened to be one of those stores. So he basically just asked me the basic interview stuff, and I mean, everybody knows how the interview goes. I hope so. I hope you're not a bum that bad, right? Had an interview before. He asked me a very important question, and he was asking me what day was I going to graduate, and I was already going to tell him that because I told him I was going to graduate pretty soon. And I was going to be busy, Graduation week, bro, you got to get prepped, This is the day you get your accomplishment in your hand for the rest of your life, right? So I basically told him, look, I'm going to have to tell you the days that I won't be here because graduation is coming up and I'm graduating pretty soon, right? And he was like, that's actually terrific. You know what? I am proud and happy that you told me that. Because there's other teachers that work there, and that was not the case. They just kind of leave on you. I was like, I understand. Because I used to be one of those niggas. But at your establishment, I'm not going to be one of those niggas, right? So, with the month going down, I'm finally at this week where I am prepping to get ready to graduate. This melanated black nigga finna grab his certificate. Accomplishment. And I can't forget and have a job. So of course I let him know, hey, I'm not gonna be here this day. I'm graduating, man. He's like, oh wait, that's fine. That's great. Thank you. So the days going by, and so of course, so I had 2 months ready. I still was going to work. I was letting him know in advance so he knew. So when this last week came up, shit started going weird, right? I started getting like weird voicemails from my manager about like me leaving him at work because they didn't have a lot of employees at all. They only had like 4. And think about day shift, evening shift, and night shift. only those 4 people are always there, and always the manager has to be there. Nigga, you ain't got really an off day, you know? So I was just letting them know, hey man, I can't come in. It's graduation week, right? So he wasn't returning a lot of my texts or like any of my calls. So what I used to do was ask about like the schedule, and because it wasn't like a lot of teenagers there, I think it was only me and my girlfriend at the time, they had paper schedules where you actually had to go inside the store and look at what days you worked, right? And I wasn't used to that. I was used to it being sent to me in a group chat with all full employees, but they've never had a teenager for this long. Most of the time it was actually all old people. They are always at the Dollar Tree. I'm not always at the Dollar Tree. I'm not going to say it again, but y'all know what I was finna say. Right? So, I didn't have a lot of time to be fooling around with people who aren't prepared to have a new employee. Like, they didn't even have people to train me or my girlfriend. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to work at this gas station. But I wasn't trying to lead them. I was just trying to juggle in case something happened. You know? So, graduation day come up, man. And I'm pretty sure my lovely editor is going to put all the pictures, man. And plug his Instagram. And plug my Instagram. Because that week was amazing, man. You know, having to prepare, put on a little suit, put on some dress shoes, man. Did I have my BB boat at that time? I don't know.
Nah, you couldn't wait.
Damn, bro, I would have been fire. But I had that shit on that day. And I'll never forget the day where I was like, it was boring at first. Rehearsal was fucking boring. When you actually get there, bro, it's like, all these niggas graduating.
All you do is sit and walk and sit.
Right, you sit and walk all the entire time. Nothing crazy, right? So it was a lot, man. And I was very appreciative. I remember when I was sitting outside these doors to the Coliseum. I don't know what the fuck it's called. What is it called? Coliseum? And I was looking for my girlfriend because the boys... No, it went by letter, last name. Right? So I'm waiting outside and I see her and I just had like this crazy energy. I'm like, oh my God, nigga, we did it! You know what I mean? Hugging everything. I'm like, man, that was great, bro. So if you're like a senior or anything, you're in school and a lot of the shit seems overwhelming, I promise you, it is worth it by the time it is over. Honestly, wholeheartedly, it is. Because you ain't got to do that shit no more. That's where your motivation, you ain't got to do it no more, bro. Unless you want to. That's it, right? So after that lovely date happens, of course, I told myself life still goes on. I am entering an adult life. It is now time to run this shit up, right? So, Dollar Tree.
I think it was like the next day.
It was the next day. It was the next day. I was like, yeah, I got work the next day because I went out or whatever, right? The next day comes around, and I have 2 different voicemails from a manager, Patrick. He basically asked,
"Hey man, you're supposed to work today. I was wondering why you didn't come in."
I'm looking at my voicemail like, when I started listening to voicemails, I'm like confused. I'm like, I've been told this, man. I had graduation week.
Right.
I'm tired of saying it now, right? So I go up there the exact day, I think, and I go to their paper-ass schedule, which is in the manager's door. Why is it in the manager's? So I look at it and I work the next day. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. I can come here on the next day. He calls me again on that same day. Hey, man, you're supposed to work. You didn't say nothing to me. That's another funny thing. They'll let you walk out and don't say anything. Like I was being disobedient or something the entire time. I finally get ready to go work on this day or whatever. And I had my whole uniform on. I was ready to just go ahead and, work. And I go in, walking, get the job done. And I see that there's only 2 employees, but that's nothing surprising, right? He got the old man working while he stocks boxes. I've never seen a manager do that. And I'm walking down like this little aisle, right? And I go up to Patrick. I'm like, all right, man, I'm ready to work, because I only had like a month of training, but only in like 3 days of that week or that month, because nobody was training me, so I didn't know exactly where I was supposed to be, cashier or I'm supposed to be stocker. So a lot of it was weird. And he had like this weird look on his face. He was like confused. I'm like, so you want me to cash register? You want me to help you stock, right? He's like,
Nah, man, you're done.
I'm like, what?
You're done. I've been calling your phone, trying to get you to work. It doesn't seem like you want to work, man. You're done.
I'm like, in my head, I was like, I want to be one of them niggas that's ready to argue for a clearly dead end job, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I wasn't all the way upset, because I had an interview a few days after that, but it wasn't the day I was supposed to work. So it was like the reasoning was what was upsetting me. Nick, I told you, days upon days, the day you asked me an interview, right? That I had graduation. So I wasn't upset. I was upset that I got fired for something as that dumb. I go back home, and my mom's, of course, is there, right? And she basically asked me, like, oh, you're back already? No. I got fucking fired. She's like, what? What'd you get fired for? Nothing. She immediately goes up there, politely asks, hey, is there a reason why you fired Marvin Jones? He's like,
That's none of your business.
and she just like, what did you fire him for?
If you wanted to know, he would ask.
And then she just went back home and basically just reported him, and he got fired. Because he had a lot of other things he was, well, hold up. That was going to sound crazy. After that, of course, because it was a year almost, basically last year, it's not an issue to me now. I don't care. I just forgot that I have never told this story, because it was so bizarre that it happened on the day after graduation. So yeah, man, I am so appreciative. I finally got this story out the way. And of course I have other ones. It's just like, I should do this more often, for the fact of I feel like I'm losing my juice on how to tell story times, get the microphone where it is, and just tell the story, So I might just upload another one, because I have another story time I think is really funny. Made a thumbnail for it and everything. I'm ready to shoot this other one out, right? So I want to say I appreciate you guys for watching, for whoever's watching, that the love is here, man. Because my passion's in this shit. I appreciate you. Hope everyone has a great day. Please follow my Instagram. Or you're going to have to.